and I graduated from Philippine Normal University with a degree in Bachelor of Early Childhood Education.
Mm-hmm.
And I am also good at speaking in English. I can also sing and dance. And I am into playing a game called Sudoku these past few days, aside from my hobbies like watching Korean or American series. I also play the guitar a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I like singing Korean songs too.
Okay. So do you have any music background in that case, since you seems to be quite keen with music?
Oh, I see. Because my parents are good at singing in a choir before in the church, and they just keep on practicing me at home. And I used to sing at church too before the pandemic. I can lead the congregation in the worship service.
I see. Okay. Perhaps you can share with us what are your work experiences?
I see. So I've experienced teaching in the public school as an OJT, but for my practice after my degree, I used to teach in a private school. I taught nursery to grade one for my first year of teaching, and then I moved on to grade teaching grades one to two pupils, and then in my last year, I taught grades one to three students.
So in terms of preschool children, teaching children below the age of 6, in total, how many years of experience do you think you have?
It would be one.
1 year. And
Yes.
when was that?
It was in 2018 to 2017 rather to 2018.
So after that, from 2018 till now, you have been teaching for grade one would be 7 years old or eight,
6 to 7, it depends on the age, but usually they are 6 years old.
6 years old.
And I just resigned from my previous school last year in preparation for applying as a teacher in Singapore.
Oh, so when was the last month that you worked?
I previously worked until July of last year.
Oh, I see. Wow, that's a long wait. It's more than a
It
year that you're
is.
basically out of job. What took you so long to find another position? Is it because you were trying to get to Singapore or?
Yes, it is primarily the reason. So I wanted to find a flexible job. I am currently affiliated but not employed in a Japanese school for teaching English, but I'm based at home so I can teach them online using the materials that the company has provided.
I see. So teaching Japanese students, is it?
Yes.
So how do you translate English from Japanese for them since there might be problem translation, right? They don't understand English. Then how do you overcome that?
Oh, usually I use body language or the basic English words that they know. I can also send links sometimes to send pictures, but since I usually teach high school or older Japanese people, they have a background in English, so they can communicate even for short sentences. So I
Okay,
don't
so
have to translate
I
most of the
see.
time.
I see. Okay. Maybe you can share with us a little bit of your family background, like how many members you have, etc.
Sure. So I come from a family of five. I'm the eldest daughter, and currently we're living together for almost 2 years because of the pandemic. And my father is a pastor in our church, but he just retired. So he's transitioning new leaders in our church, and he is now affiliated in an international organization ministry focused in South Asia and Southeast Asia, and my mother will also be helping him in that aspect. And my next sibling would be a brother. He's currently working as a call center agent, but he's also pursuing his career in Spanish. He wanted to teach the Spanish language and English language in Spain. And my youngest sister is professionally studying music in
Oh,
my alma mater as well. She's in
great.
her fourth year.
Oh, okay. So she's going to be a music teacher then.
Yes, she will be.
All right, I see. Okay. So is this will be your first time you are heading out of Philippines to work or to leave, right?
Yes, that's right.
Any challenges ahead of, for this?
Well, I'm imagining how I will adapt to the food, for example, or the rules and culture in Singapore. But actually, I've been to Singapore in for a family vacation in
Yeah.
2018. I also met with some of my preschool teachers,
Oh,
friends there.
okay. So you do have friends in Singapore then?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how comfortable are you with Chinese language? Have you do you know any Chinese friends, or have you heard of the language before?
I don't have any Chinese friends, but I've tried to sign up for a beginner's course
Mhm.
in a website called Coursera. And I can only introduce myself like Otiao Danice, but I cannot compose full sentences or longer sentences than that. I also know a few numbers or like the month, yeah, or school, she only a few vocabulary.
Okay, all right. Christina, any questions from you?
May I just, I could ask a direct question. What is your
Sure.
expected salary when you come, yeah, for the career that you're looking in Singapore?
Well, I expect it to be much more than my previous salary here in the Philippines, but I think Sir Mark told me that I would have to pay about 200,000 pesos. So maybe um, around 100,000 pesos a month or a little less.
What is that in Singapore dollars? Would you know?
Oh, sorry, let me also compute $100,000 pesos rather divided by 35. I think it's 2,800 Singaporean dollars.
Mhm.
I see. And may I know what is your future career planning in Singapore? Like how many years are you going to planning to stay in Singapore, and what is your next?
I would like
Yeah,
to, oh, sorry for cutting you off, but I would like to stay and teach in Singapore as long as the country and the school will allow me to.
Mhm. Okay. Is there any questions that you would like to ask us?
I would like to ask a few questions if that's all right. So, first, what would be the challenges that I have to prepare to as a teacher who will teach during COVID 19? Because in the Philippines, we do not have face to face classes yet.
We are having face-to-face classes here.
Mhm.
The challenge generally would be, I would say, to follow the protocols. So every week now, teachers will have to take a ART test, and this will be actually submitted to the government. So it's a regulation. I believe you are fully vaccinated.
Yes, I am. But with Sinovac, would that be a problem?
It is a recognized vaccine, so that's not an
I
issue
see.
as long as you have the proper documentations. I think your employment agency would be able to assist on that to get it certified. And other than
Yes.
that, there isn't any real COVID-related challenges. Just that we have to do more hand washing, remind the children. You have to wear masks at all times in Singapore. That's about it. I believe, yeah, there's nothing really in that aspect. And of course, for you to come to Singapore, you need to do the quarantine, right? So
Yes,
that would be probably the biggest challenge. Mhm.
I agree. And by test, you mean will it be provided by the school or do I have to?
It will be provided by the school. So it's a very simple test. The principal and our admin lady will be guiding you guys to do it. Yeah. Mm.
I see. And one more, may I ask any teacher development or career growth opportunities in your school?
For us, we are under the My Chance brand. I'm not sure if Ma Saha has shared with you. We are
Sir Mark
I think
only sent
probably
a
doesn't
link,
know.
so
Yeah, he doesn't know as well. So anyway, we are from My Champs. My Champs is a very big premium brand in Singapore. So coming into My Champs as a early childhood teacher, you would already gotten a few steps up in terms of the early childhood scene and industry in Singapore. So we are a premium brand. And for that, we require our teachers to go through almost a 1 month training program under our headquarters. So this will be done when you join and when the next training session comes along. And after that training session, you will be a fully certified MyChamps teacher. So this certification is quite recognized in the industry. So should you decide to change another environment, after your contract with us, then it will be very easy for you to get employed, because other preschools, when they see that you are MyChamps teacher, they will know that you are well trained, you have a certain standard, because that is what we require. We require a certain standard from our teachers. And so it will be a career progression in that sense for you.
I see. And lastly, can I know my working hours in case you will gladly accept me in my champs?
Our teachers are all working on shift hours, so rotating shift. Our center opens from
Oh.
7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It is a childcare center as well. So basically, it's a preschool, but we offer childcare services. So the
Mhm.
children can come to the school at 7 a.m. and they can leave the school at 7 p.m. if that's the latest time the parents want them to stay. So for that, the teachers will have rotating shift. The shift will start from 7:30. So the first shift is 7:30 to 5 o'clock, and then 8 to 5:30, and so on until the last shift is 9:30 to 7. So this will be the working hours. In 1 week, it will be like 42 and a half hours, but in actual fact, our contract requires you to work for 44 hours, right? So the so-called balance of the hour, it will be kind of on hold, and we will use it for our team meetings on Saturdays, if there is, once a month, or if we need teachers to come back for extra hours to do certain things. But our working hours are from actually working days are Mondays to Fridays. We generally do not require any staff to come back on Saturdays unless we have an event. But with COVID, then there's no event to talk of.
I
Mm.
understand. Thank you very much for entertaining my questions.
You're most welcome. Anything else that you would like to find out from us?
Oh, that would be all. Thank you, Miss Florence.
I would like to ask you though, in your work experience so far, how
Mhm.
much interaction do you have with parents?
With parents, we always have parent teacher meetings for
Mhm,
end of the quarters. We have 4 quarters in a year, and we currently, oh sorry, we usually update them about the progress and grades of
mhm,
their children, because in the Philippines preschool has grades, but letter grades, for example, A or A minus for
mhm,
each subject, and we generally give a brief feedback on how their children are behaving in school, if they
mhm,
are listening well to their teachers, eating their snacks well, or if they learned something new or did something funny in class. Then I also try to share it with the parents to make them feel comfortable of their
mhm,
children coming in our school.
mhm. How often do you actually need to update parents in the first preschool you work with?
Usually, the formal ones would be 4 times a year, but sometimes they come to me after class or whenever I have free time, and I entertain any questions as
Mhm,
long as they are within my boundaries. And for any conferences, for example, there is a child with special needs, then I would
mhm,
have to set up a conference with our special education department and the management as well.
mhm. What character do you classify yourself as? Are you a very like outgoing, vivacious uh, personality, or are you more of the quiet and reserved sort?
I see. Actually, I thought that I was an extrovert before, but although it's not yet classified, I believe myself to be an ambivert. So
Mhm,
both. So I like going out with friends. I am also a talkative person with
mhm,
people I'm very comfortable with, and I like to make friends. So I would say I'm very friendly, even though some people would think I'm too close to them, but we haven't gotten along really well.
mhm.
And sometimes I can also appreciate quiet spaces, but overall, I believe myself would be an ambivert.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And okay, I did share with you our center is also a childcare center. So I'm not
Yes.
sure how it is like in the Philippines. What are the hours for your preschool for the children?
Oh, we have two shifts, but AM and PM classes, but they're different. So I think I usually taught in the PM class, it would be from 12 noon until 3 or 3:30 p.m.
And so the children do not have any lunch at the school. They do not like change or shower or stuff like that, right?
Yes, they would usually only eat snack and might only shower if they really did something. If an incident actually happened, for example, they pooped in their pants, and that's
Yeah.
when we assist them. But before playtime, we apply mosquito lotion on them, and like off, for example, and we also help them change their clothes after playing.
Sure. So, all right, let me share with you a little bit about our preschool. We are also a childcare center. The fact that the children are in the center for so long hours, we will need to also do routine care for them. So they will have breakfast with us, morning tea break, and then lunch, and then afternoon tea break. And sometimes before they go back, we will also serve them a little bit of snack if it's required. So as a teacher in the center, not only are you an educator, you are also a caregiver for the children. And for that, you will be required to help with sometimes diaper changing, if they soil themselves, also have to help them with the washing up and all that. I'm not sure if you're comfortable with that as part of your job requirement.
Oh, that's fine with me. I think it will be interesting, and I'll get to know more about the different character and development of each child.
Mm-hmm. And okay, the other thing that I would like to also share with you for our English teacher, because we are actually a Chinese preschool. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so this is something that's very different from what you are being exposed with. It is also very different to the majority of the preschools in Singapore. Our center is a Chinese preschool. Chinese language is our focus, but we do have English teachers, especially class teachers for our levels for level 4 years old, 5 years old, and 6 years old. And if we do hire you, then you will be assigned to one of the levels, likely the 4 years old, or yeah, likely the 4 year olds, right? We call them the N2 class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in terms of the environment, majority of our teachers are actually Chinese speaking. And in fact, our team meetings are also done in Chinese, but our team members will help you with the translation. So that will be something that you need to be comfortable with and you need to get used to. Our current Filipino teacher, she's been with me for over 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
She came without knowing much Chinese as well, but she's now quite comfortable and she can actually understand, even though she can't really speak a lot, right? So
Wow.
this is a challenge that I think I need to share with you, and you need to understand it and see if you want to take on. And the other thing is, we will also require our English teacher to take on a specialized enrichment program that we have. It's a reading program. So this
Mm-hmm.
program will be a separate training that we will invest in you, because this is something that we have to pay for. And for that, if we were to decide to employ you, it will be a 2 years contract term, right?
I
And if there
understand.
is any contractual termination within this 2 years of contract term, there will be a penalty amount to be paid. It will be 2 months of the salary, or 8,000, whichever is higher, or whichever is lower, sorry, my apology, right? So this is something that you need to consider, and you can share with the agent if it's something that you might be willing to accept. Okay.
I
Um,
understand.
right. Is there any other question perhaps that you might want to clarify with me?
I see. So actually, you mentioned about the termination. I would not like to terminate my contract after 2 years or within the 2 years, but would it be possible for you to terminate my contract because the school needs to lay off a few employees?
Well, we have never laid off an employee because we do not need the teacher. But there would be, luckily not yet, but there might be situations where we will need to terminate the teacher if her behavior or her actions require the management to do so.
Mhm.
And should that situation occur, then yes, penalty term will still kick in, even if it's the employer that is actually doing the termination, right? But for the employer to terminate a staff, it is not so easy. I can't just say, I don't like your face, Danice, I'm going to terminate you. So you are protected by our ministry, the employment law as well, right? So as long as you are doing your part and you are doing your job, and accept consultations and counseling if there's an issue, then there shouldn't be any fear of us terminating you, right? So on that aspect, I think even though there is such a possibility, but unless your behavior requires so, then if not, then it's quite impossible for it to happen, right?
Thank you
Yeah.
for
So,
clarifying.
right. And is there anything else?
No, that would be all.
All right. Okay. Can I know it's a bit of a impromptu and last minute request. Would it be possible for you to maybe share, read a short story? I want to see how, if it's in a
Sorry.
class room, how would you tell a story, say to your class of a 4-year-old group? Would you have a storybook with you or something?
I
Or do
actually
it?
have a storybook, but I'm not sure if you watched my video presentation, but this is also the same book.
It's fine.
Okay.
Would you just share just like a minute or two with us? I just want to have a feel of how it is like when you conduct a class, okay?
All
Right.
right, no problem
Great.
with that.
Go ahead when you're
Okay,
ready.
okay. All right, then I'll begin. Hello, class. Good morning again. This is Teacher Denise, and today we are going to have a story. Who wants to hear a story? Oh, I see. That's good. Then, if you want a story, you have to sit properly, crisscross applesauce, and put your hands on your lap. Make sure your listening ears are on. All right, then if you're ready, I can see that you are now ready. I'll show you my storybook. And this is my storybook. What do you see in the book? Oh, you see a boy. What else? There are two frogs in the book. There are a lot of trees. Yes, correct. Mountains. Very good. And the boy is hanging on the tree. That's interesting. Then our story for today is entitled Diego Saves the Tree Frogs. What is the title again? Diego Saves the Tree Frogs. Then let's begin. Hi, I am Diego. This is baby jaguar. I hear some frogs. They need our help. Hi, Alicia. This Alicia is my sister. Hurry, Alicia. Tell us about the tree frogs. Tree frogs live in the rainforest. Some tree frogs have red eyes. Tree frogs have strong legs. Their legs help them to jump high. Can you try jumping high? Wow, you can jump very high. Tree frogs have sticky toes. Their toes help them to climb. Click is our camera. Camera found the tree frogs. Do you see the tree frogs? Can you see them in Click? Okay, that's good. The tree frogs fell. They are on a branch. The branch is in the river. Come on, we need to save the tree frogs, said Diego. Look out for the coconuts. Jump like a tree frog. Jump over the coconuts. So they jumped over the coconuts. The tree frogs went into the pyramid. How will we get inside? Do you see a door? Can you see a door? There's the door. I need my sticky gloves. My gloves help me climb like a tree frog. Let's try. We'll climb with Diego, climbing like a tree
Okay.
frog.
All right. Thanks, Denise. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
I appreciate it. All right. Any questions from you, Christina?
Not much from me. Thanks.
All right, then. So none from me as well. And if not, then we will end the call. Thank you for
All
your
right.
time.
Thank you very much for your
Sorry.
time, Miss Florence, Miss Christina.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Bye.
you so much,
Bye.
Florence, Christina, for taking your valuable time to interview teacher Dennis.
Saharuddin, can you stay on to the call, please?
Sure, definitely.
Thank you. Bye, Denise.
Bye, Denise.
Okay, Dennis, you can log out now, please.
Right. Sa, can you just briefly run through with us? What
Sure.
is the procedure currently for hiring as pass holders from the Philippines?
Okay. First of all, because the teacher is in the Philippines, yeah.
Mhm.
And number two, because all teacher submissions at this moment that we need to submit her application to Philippines of Embassy Administration. It's a must. Okay. And yeah, like, and also that we need for you to fill up the job order. The job order is like the quotation. Okay,
Mhm.
I will guide you on that, and I will email you the soft copy so that you can read through and discuss with Christina what's the procedures. Everything is all must be black and white. Okay, and then what's next? That will be okay. Once I receive the job order and also the recruitment service agreement for the recruitment of Filipino workers, then I need to submit to embassy in Singapore, under Philippine embassy in Singapore. So once submit the documents, and then it takes about 1 month in order for them to approve for the accreditation back in the Philippines. That's where she can come into Singapore. Okay, all right. So I will send you all the documents to you after this conversation so that you can read through. Okay, and then again, this entry approval, I believe that right now for the Filipino workers, whoever, they can come to Singapore with the quarantine of 10 days quarantine, not 14 days. Yeah, and then what else? Yeah, and then the entry approval as well, it must be done by the employer. I will also send you the link as well as the things that you know what to submit. Okay. Again, I heard for the entry approval as of now, of course, it would be great with the help of ACDA. ACDA will give you if I'm not wrong, the confirmation approval for her to come to Singapore. Okay, it will be done by my HR. My HR she will communicate with you. I will I will email to you and CC to her so that she knows, because we have done it before. We have brought few teachers who are already in Singapore already. Yeah, we already brought teachers recently. I think about 4 teachers already in Singapore already. During this COVID situation, pandemic, they are able to come to Singapore provided we follow the protocols. Okay.
So what's the protocol that's most difficult to get approval for?
I think the entry approval, if I'm not wrong, they will wait. They have the dates, available dates of slots. That takes longer because sometimes, remember, I'm not the only agent in Singapore. There are quite a number of agents also try to apply for these availability slots for the teachers. I'm not the only one for the other foreign workers. So it will be best by the help of ACDA that I will give you the link, and even we also know who is the person of ACDA. Then ACDA will give a confirmation for the approval for them to come in. Yeah. So that will be faster.
So what is the expected timeline that you think that she can start work from your estimation?
By my estimation, probably 2 months. Be realistic, not 1 month, 2 months from now. Once, of course, until I receive the confirmation from your job order is signed, the service agreement signed by you, then as mentioned, it takes about 2 months for her to come in. So I would say early January 2022.
Early January.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of cost,
As mentioned, I don't charge any cost at all. You just only for the levy and the foreign worker insurance that is a must from from the employer. Yeah, yeah, that's it. The rest, the quarantine, she knows. The applicant knows that she pay by herself, and yeah, that's it. And then the flight ticket pay by her own. That's it. And as long as you provide quota for them for the teacher.
her current degree, right?
Yeah.
Is it a recognized degree that we can get at L2?
Yes, correct.
Confirm?
Confirm.
What if it doesn't translate to a L2 eventually?
Because most of her classmates are already in Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Anything else from you, Christina?
May I know who will be in charge of find the quarantine place?
The quarantine will be given by the ICA. The quarantine is given by the ICA, it's not us. Okay, how it works. Once the entry approval is approved by the employer or by the ICA, then they will, when she arrives in Singapore, then the quarantine officer will put her to the quarantine place that is under SDF for 10 days. Because I know I just got back from other countries. I was quarantined for 2 weeks.
I see.
Yeah, so I know. And of course, they need to, prior to arrive Singapore, she also needs to go for the PCR test 48 hours before and after she arrives to Singapore. Both she must go for the PCR test before and after. And then after that, to be quarantined for 10 days. And then in the meantime, the hotel will be given by the ICA.
I see.
You had that like 12 candidates previously, right? That's the question. Why is she the last one or not chosen?
Good question.
Did I miss something out?
No, because when I submitted the one that I sent you the link, her link was not there. Did you realize that? Because
No, I didn't realize it.
Okay, that's fine. So I received her application after I sent to you.
I see.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, she looks good, because my agent sent me the new applicant, and I was like, oh, she's very good. And after that, that's why then you came, and after that, I sent to you. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. S-Pass is valid for 2 years or 1 year nowadays. I cannot remember.
It depends on her passport, but according to her passport, is valid for 10 years. I think it should be 2 years.
Okay, so for our center, we will need a 2-year bond. So if we do offer her, then this is something that you need to make sure that she understands.
Yeah.
Not sure if you heard me just now on the call.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying for our center, the contract with the school will be a 2-year bond. If she were to terminate earlier than 2 years, there will be a penalty of 2 months of her salary payable to the headquarters actually.
Did she agree with that?
She said she's fine. She said she didn't, she's looking to stay at least 2 years.
Longer,
So,
yeah,
but
okay.
I just also need you to perhaps verify and clarify with her that there is such a contractual obligation.
Correct.
Just don't want any misunderstanding. Okay.
Mhm.
And what is the salary for S-Pass for her education? Have you done a check on the website yet?
Of course. Normally, I've done this. Not me. I'm the one who did it. Is my staff. Most of the salary for S-Pass will be 2,900.
Based on her school and her age and all.
Yeah,
it's 2,900
correct.
already.
Yes, correct. But I will. My staff will give you the self-assessment tool, and I will email to you.
Yeah, can you do that for me, please?
The SAT. Danice.
All right. Okay.
Anything else?
No. I think she's quite a good candidate. I think this one we will definitely going to consider her. I just need you to verify for me the salary for the S-Pass. And also salary for the S-Pass, whether she is able to accept the 2-year bond.
Yeah, 2-year bond.
So the earliest possible estimate again that she can start, because I would ideally want her to come in latest end of December,
Okay, all
after
right.
Christmas,
Yeah, that's
after
the estimation lah. But I will do my very best as long as we submit all the application, and after that, in the meantime, I will keep in touch with both of you.
Okay, I need your advice as well. So
Sure.
currently my S Pass is of course is used by one of my Filipino teacher,
All right.
and she will be leaving us end of December as well. Now, how does it work? Will we be able to apply an IPA for her, but have not cancelled or transferred my other
Good
teachers S Pass?
question. Good question. Okay. We will only can apply as pass as long as you have as pass quota, number one. Okay, number one. And number two, because you mentioned that you still have the existing as pass that has yet to be cancelled. Am I right?
Right.
Okay. Because if you don't at the moment, do you have sufficient quota at the moment, or you don't have?
No, all our quotas are used up.
I know what you mean.
So
Okay. Got you.
yeah.
Okay.
So how does it work then?
Okay. After you cancel her S pass, that's where we can apply the S pass for teacher Danice. 2 days after.
And how long does it? So then that means everything will be delayed, because you can only
Exactly.
apply.
Exactly.
Then there's a problem. So then there's a problem of us not being able to find someone for the center for a few months.
Yeah, correct. Because I know what you mean. It's all up to you if you want to cancel the existing S pass by maybe early December. Because when the existing S pass, once you cancel, the existing S pass can stay in Singapore 1 month. Am I right?
Yes.
Correct. That's why we can only apply her S pass until we cancel the existing ones 2 days after that.
So let me clarify. My existing Filipino student has already found another school to go to.
Okay.
If I were to cancel her S pass in early December,
Yes.
then she has 1 month to stay in Singapore.
Correct.
Okay, and then her new employer will then issue her new S pass for her.
Yeah.
So on her side, that will be settled. All right.
Correct.
Then on our side, when I cancel my existing S pass, 2
Yeah.
days later, you will apply for teacher Denice.
Correct.
And from the day of application to
Mhm.
the day that she comes in,
Mhm.
how long does that take?
IPA can be approved up to, if I'm not wrong, up to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, or can be earlier. Okay, as long as we have her IPA, then that's fine. That's where we submit the application to whatever my agents in the Philippines. Most important, what my agents in the Philippines wants is her IPA employment letter from you, only two. Of course, don't talk about the service agreement and job order. That will be the later part. I do not want you to get confused. Yeah. So what? Go on. Do you have a question?
Oh, okay. Just in terms of timeline,
Yeah.
when you apply for the IPA for her,
Yeah.
okay, MOM will probably take about 2 weeks to issue the
Correct.
IPA, right? And then after MOM issues the IPA, what is the next step?
Then we submit her IPA to my agents in the Philippines, and they will do the processing and everything.
And how long would that take?
About 2 weeks.
Another
1 week to
2
2
weeks.
weeks. Exactly.
So that will be 4 weeks already.
Correct.
Then when the processing is done, then she can fly into Singapore.
Yes, because as I mentioned earlier, in the meantime, my agent already processed her job order, service agreement once you sign by you.
Right. So 4 weeks, then she can come into Singapore. then she'll do her 7 days of quarantine.
10 days,
So
not 7 days.
10 days.
Yeah.
So that means it's probably another 2 weeks already. So that means you're looking at 6 weeks.
Yeah, correct.
Right? 6
Correct.
weeks, meaning that the earliest she can join me is possibly 3rd week of January.
Correct.
Okay, let me discuss this with Christina in
Sure,
terms
no
of our time
problem.
management, right? Because this might be challenged. Do you have any part-time English teacher in the meantime?
I don't have. I recently just few teachers close. I don't have at the moment for local. You mean local Singaporeans, right?
Right.
No, I don't have at the moment.
Do you have any S pass holders already in Singapore?
Yes, I mentioned earlier.
No, as in looking for employment.
Existing. Yes, I have one, but already been reserved by one of my clients.
Okay.
I have one, but already reserved by my client already because I must be fair and square.
So you have no other existing S pass?
No, at the moment.
Okay. All right. Okay, because for us, timeline, I think is quite challenging, yeah?
Yeah, because as mentioned, because your timeline is you have the existing S-Pass right now. This is the challenge for you because as I mentioned earlier, the S-Pass can be only applied after the cancellation of your existing S-Pass. That's it. So that's why you need to discuss with Christina. So you need to discuss at your end. How are you going to do in order for you to hire teacher Danice?
Sure, I'll do that. I'll discuss with Christina in terms of timeline and the manpower management. So
Okay.
thanks so much, Saha.
No problem,
Thank you
Florence.
Thank
No
you.
Thank
problem.
I'll
you.
get back to you soon. But please reserve Denise for us in the meantime.
Can. Don't worry. I will drop an email so that 3 of us are in the loop.
Sure. Thank you very
Great.
much.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks, Christina.
All right,
Bye.
thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Christina.